New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the High Vibe Hour, only here at the New Thought Media Network. I am so grateful because I'm Rev Skip Jennings and I'm a teacher, an author, a minister, a facilitator, and I am grateful for the new year. Happy New Year, y'all.
Yes. I'm Rev Julie Moret. I am a spiritual teacher and inspirational speaker at the Agape International Spiritual Center, founded and directed by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. I say this every week. I love our hour together. I love the opportunity to take spiritual, doable teachings and practices and sink them in to create activation and awakening. So I am all about this and grateful. Here we go, 2026.
Yeah, 2026, and we're going to be setting intentions and doing a little visioning in a bit. But before that, let's just catch up. How was your new year? How'd you bring it in? What'd you do?
You know, what was so sweet is I've had, over this holiday break, I have had so much time with my teenage son. And I was just reflecting on, I think when he was just turning a teenager, I realized that parenting a teen is different than parenting a younger child. Like, I need to switch it up and I need to get some skills. And I ended up doing some pretty intense training. I did neuroemotional tech training, and I learned a bunch of things on how to communicate with somebody having the teenage brain development in that period. Yep. And I got to tell you, we had like the richest conversations over the past 2 weeks, and it feels really good. Like, I'm safe enough for him to talk to about all the things. So that's kind of the main thing that's up for me, is like, wow, I pivoted. Like, I was in a situation and I realized I needed skills and I got them. And so that feels, I just feel so grateful that I get to connect with him at this stage in his growth. So it's beautiful. How about you?
Oh my goodness.
Welcome, Elisheva. Welcome, Whitney.
Yeah, I did something I went to the movies on New Year's Eve. I went to go see, because I've been watching for 10 years of Stranger Things. I love those things. That's that other side of Rev that I get to enjoy. And so Stranger Things, it was the finale of Stranger Things, the series finale, and they showed it in the theater. So I went to the theaters. I actually went to a place I haven't been in a very long time. It used to be the ArcLight Theaters. They closed down. Another company took it over in El Segundo. And it was just great. It rained like cats and dogs, which I love the rain anyway. So once that was done, I came home and I just laid in bed and watched a little bit of I was asleep before our New Year here on the West Coast. So I like that. And I woke up and I went to teach yoga the next day.
I love it. Okay, but now here's the serious question, because we talked about going to the movies before. Yeah. Did you smuggle in your own snacks like I do?
No.
Or did you participate there?
No, I didn't. In fact, I had a major kind of cheat day. Not really a cheat day, because today starts the cleanse. I do a 2-month cleanse of no meat products whatsoever. Except for I am doing a little bit of egg whites because I am so active in running and doing all the other things in the gym. So, but I'm okay with everything else is being let go. So I had a cheeseburger. It was the best cheeseburger I've had in years. It was so good. I had double cheese on it and everything. I'm like, listen, if we're gonna end this, we're gonna end this in a good way. And normally I don't even eat cheeseburgers. Normally that's not my thing. But it was just something I said, oh, let me just do something. And it was good. And my body didn't reject it. It was fine. I tell you what, it cleansed itself out very quickly the next day. And because I drank a lot of tea. And speaking of tea, I've been drinking this really incredible. It's called the tea cake. Have you heard of tea cakes from China? It's
No.
this condensed black tea that's been condensed and dried into a cake. So you drop it in there and it dissolves. It just makes this incredible black tea, and that
Oh,
helps with the
cool.
cleansing.
You have the
So
coolest teas. You always have, you had the blossom thing where the flowers blossom, and now you got the cakes tea.
the cakes, teas, and stuff, and it helps to actually cleanse the body, and it
Uh-huh.
helps you to also do something I people like to call it intermittent fasting. I call
Uh-huh.
it the mindful window of eating, and what that
Okay.
means is I eat at a certain time, and you know, so I don't really have a solid meal until about 12 noon.
Mm.
So the black tea and the black coffee can help, sustain you through that time, and it's been really good stepping into a new focus for the new year around my body temple and what I'm really called to do
Yeah,
around
I
being.
love that. And even
Yeah.
like for all of us as we're tuning in right now, I love the idea we're in the start of a whole new year. Is there a new practice that you want to start? Is there
Mm,
something that you feel called to do this year? Whether it's, get more water in. I like the rule of thumb, half your body weight in ounces of water, but
yeah,
like,
we've been
to do
talking
the
about that.
research. Yeah, this is a moment we get to pick, and I like it doable and manageable. Like pick something very doable and manageable.
Mhm.
I've got my dandelion tea, and
Oh, okay.
dandelion tea is great for digestion. It's
Yeah.
great for the liver and liver cleansing, which I love. It enhances immune function, and it's got
Mm,
tons of antioxidants and vitamins. And so that's like what I'm about right now. And I love that we're doing this little tea time because
yeah.
there's so many ways that we can get health, that we can take it in. And the simplest thing, because it's consciousness also. Like I'll
Mm,
usually do some kind of dandelion tea after a meal because it's good with digestion, but that I'm thinking that I'm drinking something that's good for my digestion, just that thought
yeah.
alone has some impact and probably creates better digestion. So I like just putting it out there to that we live more consciously in the
Living
things
more
we choose
consciously
and
is
how we choose,
key.
right?
It's key.
Yeah.
I
So,
believe that this is going to be a very conscious year for a lot of people that who we know, common, and mutual friends are
mhm,
talking about really dropping into a more conscious way of living, especially in 2026. And this
mhm,
is the year of fulfillment. This has been stated in the stars. This is the year that we fulfill all our goals. 2025 was actually named earlier on. It was the energy of transformation that we're going to go through a big shift. I believe we did that, and now we're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
go into a place of fulfillment.
I love it. And Happy New Year to you, Nazir. Welcome. Welcome everybody that's on. Let me read you 2026 is the year of the horse, okay?
Okay,
And it
okay,
says for 2026 it's the year of the horse, and after the intense shedding of the snake year and the closing cycles of a number 9 year, that's when you add all the numbers in the year, everything begins to move again. The
yeah,
snake stripped away what wasn't real. Last year brought endings, clarity, truth, and emotional release. The
mm,
energy of 2026 is fast, it is forward moving, and full of breakthroughs. This is a year that is filled with opportunities, and the opportunities open suddenly. So you want to be ready,
yeah,
where your confidence rises and your path becomes clearer. The horse year pushes you to trust your instincts and take bold steps.
mm,
No more holding back,
yeah,
no more overthinking, no more shrinking yourself. The seeds that you planted during the chaos and cleansing of last year will begin to show real growth. Get ready. The horse is
mhm.
carrying you into a year of movement, power, and possibility. Doesn't that sound good?
That is so good, and this is it really speaks to 2025 felt like we were shedding. We were breaking through. We were going to transition. And I am preparing myself to step into everything the horse year is going to bring. I'm prepared myself. I've done the work. I've seen the work that I've done within myself, not just spiritual work, but Julie, we've done preparing books. We created books. I'm ready
Yes.
to let the book launch. The
Right.
retreat. The beginning of last year, and it was like, okay, I had one person signed up, and I just heard, okay, this is going to be kind of a rocky year, but just have faith, have trust, faith and trust. We have 16 people now signed up, ready to go
Love
this
it.
year. Part of this
Yeah.
work right now is understanding how I'm going to say there's a cycle of how things run, and we're connected to that cycle.
Mhm.
And I believe in all the things that the universe and Gaia and energy is showing us, and it's manifesting and demonstrating itself exactly how it's supposed to. And I'm
Mhm.
just grateful to be in this space. Grateful.
Yeah. I love it. And I love the idea of entering with a lot of consciousness. I
Mm.
notice that, I'm seeing things in the news. I'm seeing people marching in Iran, and I I want to I want to
Mhm.
know what's mine to be right now, because
Yeah.
I can get overwhelmed. There's so many, like there's a big ice thing that's melting. I'm like, I saw some headlines in the news and it's like, whoa. So what's mine to be right now?
Yeah.
Like what is mine to be? And that's part of what happens when we practice this life visioning process that we'll be doing
Mm.
throughout this hour, and especially in the second half hour. The life visioning process is an opportunity to catch the vision for your
Yeah.
life. It was created by Michael Bernard Beckwith, um, and it's different from visualizing. So, like some
Mhm.
folks visualize what they want, like I want a red Maserati, or we want the things that we want. And the life visioning process is a process of becoming open and
Yeah.
available to
Yeah.
God, source, spirit, by whatever name you call it. God's greatest idea of itself is your life. And then what happens is when I get clear about what is mine to be, then I don't get so overwhelmed by all the different needs in the world. Like I stay on my
Mhm.
path, and I know that my path is illuminating. My path is doing, it's like if we're all this great big mosaic, if I keep my chink in it, my tile in it really clear and clean, I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
And
I think
that's
it's
what I
very
want to jump into today.
Yeah, it's very important too. You mentioned visualization, and there's nothing wrong with creative visualization. We do it all the time. And
Mhm.
what we're doing is really tapping into what visioning is, and what visioning has a mistaken kind of image of what it is. And I believe that because I do creative visualization all the time, when I'm in the space of opening myself up to visioning, I am opening myself of catching a brand new something I've never seen, something I've never participated with. I'm completely open. It takes a lot of clearing. And then sometimes I take what the vision dropped into me and I do creative visualization from there.
Mhm.
Like writing that book, the book that I want to do, I caught this vision over 10 years ago to write a book about aging when I turned 50, actually 11, 12 years now, because I'm about to turn 62. And I caught the vision. Oh, this is a book about transformation at this age. It took me 10 years. And throughout that 10 years, I used to do creative visualization of me writing the book, standing on stage, speaking about the book. I still do it. I still see myself writing. I still see the word New York Times bestseller. I see it. I'm seeing myself. Skip Jennings on that list. I don't know where on that list, but I'm seeing it. So I'm doing some creative visualization with that. So it's not an either or, but we just want to give you some guidelines of what visioning is.
Yeah, you know what? That gets me excited to maybe do a session on
Yeah.
visualization. Because one
Yes.
of the keys, like as we start this new year, is there's a great little rule of thumb. You can make a list of 10 of your dreams, like 10 things you want so much. Like, what do you
Okay.
really want? And it could be like, the job or the income or the weight or the partner or whatever it is. You make your list of the things you really, really want. And then this is the key for me, because I can get overwhelmed with all the options and all the possibilities. You pick
Okay.
one. You go for
Mm,
one, and you say, which is the one that my heart and soul are really longing for right now. And then that's the one you highlight, and you notice, like, what are the steps? Like, what are the things? You break it into the manageable, doable steps that need to happen. If you want to be an author, hello, you got to sit down and write a book. And then
Yeah.
you break it down into, like, how much time will I spend in a day, or little manageable, doable steps. So that's something that we can all do. Like, you could just take the time to make a list of all the things that you want, and maybe you pick the top one or the top two or three, and then you start, like, what are the doable steps, and find the doable steps for each day, each week, each month. And you kind of work your way backwards. Like, if you want
I
it
love
done
that.
by X time, you work it backwards. So I'd love to do a session on visualization, because that's a fun thing. And what happens, to your point, is when you visualize what you want, it creates a neural imprint. Our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a real event or an imagined event. So when you present tense, like, I make this amount of money, I have this kind of loving relationship, I have dynamic health. When you're saying it in the present tense, it tells your nervous system that you've got it already, and then that guides you into it. So,
Yeah.
um,
And along with that, Reverend Julie, I would love to, maybe we'll do this next week. Along with the creative visualization, there's also something I've been using and teaching, and I write this in the book that's coming out, SMART goals. I've been using SMART goals forever, which is specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, or the relevance, and also timely. And I use that when I do my steps. Okay.
Okay. So what I love about this
Yeah.
is, yeah, let's definitely do that next week. So we'll
Yeah.
do visualization next week. But the
Yeah.
smart thing is visioning first, because we're tapping in to the creator. We're tapping
That's
in
it.
because God's idea of itself as my life goes far beyond what my little ego wanting, craving brain could probably
Mhm.
possibly think of. So we want to tap into, what is the big design? What is the big purpose? What's that underlying thing for which you were born, right? That's exciting.
Yes.
And then we can
Yes.
take it further, like what you said, next week. Yum.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. So I got to ask you a question, because you've been, with, I counted back, it's been 20 years out of Agape for me. 20
Yes.
years. And you've
Yeah.
been there, what, 20, 25 years, or how long have you been at Agape?
It's a little more than 20. I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
But
but I think we dropped in around the same time. The one thing
yeah.
I love about Agape, and we talk about Agape quite a bit because we're both out of the Agape family, Agape Nation. Agape was created from this spiritual technology downloaded by Michael Bernard Beckwith, as you said before, and it's lasted, and it's still thriving 40 years later, almost 40 years now.
Yeah.
How has visioning shifted you? And I remember the very first class I ever took, first visioning class, was with Reverend Coco Stewart. And I got this vision, sis, I kid you not. It said, I heard multiple art author. And for me, I'm going, what? At the time I was claiming I'm a dyslexic. No, I experienced dyslexia, but I was like, I'm not going to write a book. I heard pulpit minister and said, yeah, but I don't want to go to the pulpit. I heard that I would be touching people simultaneously all over the world globally. And I'm thinking TV, not knowing the internet was going to blow up the way it blew up 20 years ago with Insight Timer. I have people coming in from Germany, Mexico, Canada, all at the same time. This
Yeah.
vision that I got for the very first, it frightened me. I was like, this is not me. And I had to grow into the vision. How was
Mm.
visioning for you when you first started tapping into visioning?
You know what my biggest memory of the life visioning process is when I stepped into leadership at the Agape International Spiritual Center. There'd be a core of us meeting with
Mm,
Michael Beckwith. And what amazed me is that we visioned for everything. It wasn't like we would
mm,
get into a room and say, okay, we're going to do this, or we're going to create that, or we're going to. No, everything began with visioning. So that developed such a discipline in me, because
mm,
I'm such a, I come from the motivation world and the goals and, all that, like, go get it, go do it. And this was more be it. This was more allow it. This
Love
is
that.
more flowing with the natural order of life. And so that's really been so ingrained in me that before anything, when I think I want something or I think I want to do something, I vision what is God's idea of itself as my life as it pertains to, and it could be, moving, it could be a new house,
Mhm.
it could be a new job, it could be whatever, today we're going to do
Mhm.
for 2026. And so what I appreciate about it is, especially because I come from the motivational world of goal setting, this is about really emptying out with and practicing no expectation, no attachment,
Mhm.
and just becoming open. What's God's greatest idea of itself is my very life. And it's like I've built up a muscle around it, because when I first started it and I would hear things, I would think, oh, well, no, to be a speaker or author or whatever, like, oh, there's so many of those. But when something comes through, and it comes through more as like the way that I'm meant to shine in the world, I've
Right.
started to trust it. I've started
Mm.
to give it a place of respect, the things that come forward in the life visioning process. And there's no attachment. I just let it be
Yes.
free. I just
Yeah.
allow it, like, oh, okay, there's that. And I let it be free inside of me and see how it evolves forward.
I love the word free. One of the most important things I learned that the visioning can be caught in many different ways.
Yeah.
There's no one way. It's like it's not always words. Sometimes it's a feeling. Sometimes it drops into with a. I've had images that I'm like, what is this all about? And later on, I'm walking on the street and I see it, and it's something that's helping me to evolve. And spiritually, I'm going, oh, there's that vision I caught. It happened when we were visiting for the LGBT float one year. I caught a vision of this pink unicorn that was galloping on this magenta sea. However, it was this turquoise sea. I'm like, well, that's very interesting, and I think it was Carlton, Reverend Carlton Tebow about at Agape said, well, don't worry about the image. It's just not up to you to create that. It's you to be open and available to receive it, and it will manifest and you'll see it. Our float showed up in that
I
element
love
that
it.
year. At the very bottom, there was turquoise and all this. It felt like a thing. And we were on, this is the vision I caught.
Yeah, I think of it like there's this river of consciousness from which we
Mm,
all emerge. And the life visioning process gives us access to that omnipresence, to that river of all knowledge, all knowing. And so it's like you get a moment of grace to tap in. And as you mentioned, we all have different modalities that are strongest for us. So some people get images, pictures, sounds, symbols, direct
mm,
knowing, words. I remember I was doing the life visioning process with a group of women many years ago, and this one woman got a white feather. And she was like, I don't know what to make of it, but it was a white feather. So 2 years later, after that visioning, she's going for a job interview, and she wasn't really sure if that was the right place or if it wasn't. And when she walked in, their logo was a white feather. And so
wow.
it's like these kinds of, it's like the grace of God. It's an opportunity to connect in with the grace of God. So that was like a beautiful, they call it a synchro destiny, a wink from the universe to say, yes, beloved,
I
you're in the
love
right
that word.
place.
Say that word again. Synchro
Synchro
destiny.
destinies. Synchro
Ooh,
destinies are when we have what we would call, a coincidence, right?
right,
But
right.
I like thinking of it as a wink from the universe. I actually had that. Oh my gosh, with a feather image. Just last week,
Hmm.
I couldn't sleep. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. I could not sleep. And I was thinking about my next talk. And I'm using the symbolism of a feather drifting down to the ground in my next talk, right? That's what's coming forward right now. 4 o'clock in the morning, I get a video sent to me from a friend of mine on the East Coast. And the video is a video, it's like deep esoteric teachings, but
Hmm.
underneath the title, it says, for your sleep. All right. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sleeping. I get a video from a friend who has no idea that I'm awake saying,
Right.
for your sleep. The cover image is a feather, and the feather is drifting. It's a video, it's drifting down to the ground. That's a synchrodestiny. That's like the universe
Wow.
saying, you're on track. The information is this in this video is for you. This is part of your path. Isn't
That
that
is so
cool? And
powerful.
that's the
So
coolness of
cool.
our life. Like
That's the
that's a
coolness of
way
our
that we
life.
can live. We
Yeah.
can live in the flow like that.
Yeah. When are you talking again? I can't wait.
I don't know, but I'm getting
Okay,
ready because
but you're
with
preparing.
Reverend Michael, it could be Wednesday, and he could
See,
be like, "Hey, you're up on Sunday."
this is a great lesson. Get ready so you'll stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I love that preparation in you. You just inspired me. Normally, I'm just like I teach on a Wednesday night. I'm like, okay, let's start downloading this on the Monday. It'll come through.
Well, I think that's the message of the astrology thing that I shared for this year,
Right.
2026. It's like buckle up, get ready, and go and be prepared. So for me, be prepared means really honor your daily spiritual practice,
Yeah.
whether it's meditation or prayer, whatever you do that really anchors you, really honor your health and physical body
Ooh,
practices. You want to be ready because this year is like, let's go.
let's get
You
ready.
know,
Let's get
it's not a
healthy.
slow entry. The opportunities will come fast. And if you're ready, you get them. And if you're not, you won't.
Yesterday, I had the incredible honor, and I teach yoga for Equinox, and they asked me to teach the New Year's Day class. It was only one yoga class. We had 28 people in yoga. It was so beautiful, but I was just being open. Okay, God, let's do this. Take me through it. And we created this incredible class. I'd say we, because God created it through and as me.
Mhm.
We did 3 rounds of sun salutations. We did a namaskar A, B, and C. And we really allowed ourselves to set an intention in meditation. And I spoke about this. Intention is not what we intend to do. Intention is an energy, is a flow of source power. So you have the face of intention, which we call divine qualities. And I asked everyone, okay, so I want you to set an intention from source energy: love, joy, peace, oneness, prosperity, infinite possibilities, beauty, creativity. What is it that you want? What is it you want more of? And I asked them, what are you willing to become?
Ooh.
What are you willing to become? And that came straight from visioning. And I said, whatever you're looking to manifest this year for your life, you must be willing to become. And I heard it was like a group. Oh, it was like a group. Oh, yes, I get it. And I said, if you want more love in your life, you must become more loving.
Yes.
If you want more joy in your life, be joyous. That you must become for what you're looking for. And that is a direct, lesson and teaching from the visioning process. What must I become?
Right.
It's
That
so
reminds
powerful.
me. Yeah.
So
I know we're going to go to a
I
commercial break.
know.
And then when we come back,
Yeah.
stay with us because we're going to dive right into the life visioning process. It is an opportunity to get a hit, a feeling tone, a direct knowing of what is yours to be in this next year. It gives some guidance and clarity. And we'll meet you on the other side of this.
We'll meet you on the side. Stay tuned.
Are you passionate about media, storytelling, and making a difference? Welcome to New Thought Media Network, where your voice matters. We amplify diverse voices and share impactful stories. Join us in our mission. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to creativity and community, looking for enthusiastic volunteers who want to be part of something bigger, learn, grow, and collaborate in various aspects of media production. Incredible support and camaraderie await you here. Your contributions will help us create powerful content that resonates with audiences and drives social change.
Ready to make a difference? Visit our website www.ntmedia.org to learn more about volunteer opportunities and how you can get involved.
Find our volunteer inquiry under the Engage tab on our website, or visit www.ntmedia.org/volunteer.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
All right, and welcome back. Welcome back to the first show of the new year, 2026. It's here. It's here. We're in it.
Yes.
We're
So we're going to
flowing.
be doing the life visioning process. And
Yes.
as we said, this was created by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. It's an opportunity to catch the vision for your life. And so if you're able to get into a nice, comfortable position, you can also watch the replays of this if you want to take it slower and just keep doing it over and over again. Do you want to
And
kick it off? Or
Yeah, well, also just a reminder, grab a journal, not too late. You should have something to write with. One thing I love about visioning that helped me so much, because memory for me, having that long time in between, and I couldn't go back to, I wasn't remembering the first question. And I heard just jot down notes as you're dropping down notes. So it's a reminder. You don't have to write a dissertation. Like you're chopping notes and you drop back into it. I remember Reverend Michael said once, yeah, you don't drop out of consciousness because you're writing notes. You're actually even being more consciousness because you're reminding yourself of what, just download it. And there's some teacher says, no, you got to wait to the very end. I'm like, why? Who said that? So we can do that. Also, there is no right or wrong way to catch the vision. You're just opening yourself up. I will definitely kick us off. And one of the things I learned early on about facilitating visioning is we begin with unconditional love, because that's where the vision comes from. So I'll guide us through, and I'll take the first two questions, and then I'll switch over to you. You want to take the last three questions, Reverend Julie?
an idea. Why don't you do a full round?
Okay.
And then pass it to me and I'll do another full round. So we'll each do a full round because we have different flavors of how we do the visioning process. So then it just is more opportunities. And again, just to clarify, we're going to be asking a few different questions. It's an opportunity to just catch what comes forward. It could be a sound, an image, a smell, a feeling, tone, words, direct knowing, a symbol, and you may feel like you're getting nothing. And if that's the case, like we don't want to manufacture anything, you could just be open and available to maybe receiving insights and guidance in dream time through your sleep, or maybe something will pop up for you later in the day or the week, just to be open to see what comes forward. And we're going to do it in layers. So you'll have a few opportunities to see what comes forward. And the only other thing that I would add is, for me, I've learned to trust it, like that it would not come to me if it were not for me. So when something comes up, just give it some respect and appreciation, and you can jot it down, like without, don't put your judgment on top of it.
Those are the five qualities and of the visioning that I was going to share anyway, but this is good. Let's do it now. The first one is to be willing. Your willingness, your openness to receive the vision. The second step, or second quality, is to be receptive, create a field of receptivity. The third quality of it is actually beginning to surrender to the vision. And the fourth one is actually going into a place of discipline, which the fulfillment of this, and Michael calls it blisscipline, which I love. And then the last one is thanksgiving and gratitude, because it's already done in the mind of God. So we can already give thanks for it because it's already being done. We're just catching it. So in this idea of being willing, it's just being willing to sit down and opening up ourselves with love and surrendering. It's not too big. You're downloading it. It's not too big, and then we will have the discipline to carry it out, the discipline and Thanksgiving. And I think we're ready to do some rounds of visioning. Let's do it. So I'm going to ask everyone, if you can, or if you're driving, please don't close your eyes or maybe lower your gaze towards your heart. And have a little bit of a writing, something to write with if you want to jot down your notes, and just begin to breathe and begin to just be here and to be now. And I'm so grateful that we get to stop and we get to remember this practice of gratitude, this practice of the high appreciation for life itself. And with gratitude, we allow ourselves to open ourselves to unconditional love. This unconditional love is within us. It is what we have been created from. We are unconditional love, our true nature. And I want you to remember a time where you felt completely loved, nurtured, cared for. It could be with a friend or a loved one in a space. Could be a situation, something where you felt completely anchored in to unconditional love. This feeling tone, allowing ourselves to rise above any situation, tapping into the divine field of this energy that has created life itself. It is life itself. And as we were reveling into this high consciousness, this high vibration, this high vibe energy, we allow ourselves to bring into mind this new chapter of eternity that we call 2026. We are reminded that we're in a new space, therefore, that we can create something new at any moment, in any breath. So from this unconditional love, we are willing to receive God's highest idea for our life for 2026. So we ask the first question, what is the highest idea for my life in 2026? What is the highest vision, the high vibe energy that the universe is calling me to be? What is the highest vision, highest idea of my life for 2026? Staying into this first question, we can even ask, what does it look like? What does 2026 feel like? What does it taste like? What does it move like? How does it move? What is this highest vision for 2026? We are reminded that this vision is already happening in the mind of God. We're just so grateful to catch this vision. And we simply give space to hear, to feel, to be. As we continue into this field of unconditional love, the highest energy that there is, the highest vibration that there is, no caveat, no happenstance, no mistakes. Love is just love. We tap into the next question. What must I become for this vision to be realized? What must I become for this vision to be demonstrated as my life in 2026? What must I become? What must I embody? What must I become? And as we continue to contemplate, we continue to breathe. Remember that we are here now. Now, as we give space to download, we give space to listen. And still being held in the arms of God, the universe, the Mother Gaia, the nurturing energy of love. We ask the next question: what must I release for this vision to freely be demonstrated as my life? What must I let go of? What must I say goodbye to release any attachments to people, places, things, ideas, paradigms? What must I be willing to let go of for this vision to be realized in 2026? This year, this chapter, what must I let go of? I invite us to continue to breathe, continue to feel this energy of unconditional love. Continue to stay open at the top, receiving. Because it is already done, this vision is already done in the mind and the consciousness of God in the universe. There are already gifts, talents, and qualities that we all possess at this point, at this time. So we ask this contemplative question: what gifts, talents, and qualities do I bring to this vision now? What gifts are already present? What talents are already moving through me? What qualities am I bringing to this vision? This new life in 2026, what am I bringing that's already happening? It's already dancing in me. It's already elevating my life right now. What gifts, talents, qualities are present? And the final question in this round of visioning, one of my favorite questions. It is an open-ended question to allowing more to be revealed. And we simply ask, what else must I know? What else must be brought forth? What else must be revealed in this time of visioning? What else must be revealed through and as me? What else must be revealed? So I am so grateful for this first round of visioning. So grateful. And as we continue to remain open, we know that more will be revealed as we move from this visioning into the next visioning, from glory to greater glory, move forward in eternity. And we give ourselves the permission to continue to receive these downloads. And I lovingly pass to Reverend Julie.
Yeah. And so, as a palate cleanser, I invite you to gush yourself with gratitude. Become just so keenly aware of all the things for which you are grateful. Let yourself fountain up. And especially if you're in a state right now where you feel like, oh, there's nothing to be grateful for, that's even more cause. That's even more reason to cause yourself to become aware of what you're grateful for. It could be the clothes on your back. It could be that you have a breath of air. It could be if you have shelter. Whatever it is, even if it's not your ideal shelter or clothes or whatever, to begin from a place of gratitude, because we want to ramp up the energetic frequency of gratitude. So think of at least 10 things you're grateful for. Just fountain up, cleanse your system, cleanse your nervous system, let all the cells plump up with vitality and health and awareness of what are you so grateful for? I'm so grateful. 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 And then from this pumped up place of gratitude, become open and available. What is God's greatest idea of itself as your very life? And if the word God doesn't work for you, it could be higher consciousness, whatever power that is greater than yourself, that lights the stars and has the ocean tides know when to ebb and flow, that force, that source that is the whole of all of life. What is its greatest idea of itself as your very life? Get a hit, get a feeling tone. You may get an image, sound, smell, word, direct knowing, picture. What is God's greatest idea of itself as your life? You, full tilt, all in, fully actualized. What is God, source, higher consciousness, supreme love's greatest idea of itself as your very life? And just notice what comes up, what comes to you.
Mm.
Now, what's already in play? What gifts, skills, talents, abilities, willingness? What do you already have that will support you in becoming everything you are God intended to be? What's already in place? What gifts, skills, talents, resources, knowing, willingness? What's already in place? It would not come to you if it were not for you. It would not come to you if it were not for you. It would not come to you if it were not for you, beloved.
Mm.
So, what's already in place? What gifts, skills, talents, abilities, willingness, resources, connections, knowings, skill set? What's already there? There's something already there. There's probably a lot of something's already there. And now, if there's anything to release or let go of in order that you might fully step into this greatest vision for your life, what might that be? If there's something to release or let go of in order for you to fully be everything you are God intended to be, what might there be, if there is anything? Any old resentments, any unforgiveness, any pettiness, any jealousies, any smallness in behavior or thoughts, any attachments, any habits, any patterns. If there is anything that in your bones you know it is time to lay down, that you may fully rise into everything you are God intended to be, what might that be? And once again, entering into the grace of God, into the supreme wisdom, the all-knowingness of pure source. Allow yourself, like the lotus flower, to become so completely open and available. What is God's greatest idea of itself as your very life? What is God's greatest idea? We didn't come here to suffer. We didn't come here to just go along to get along. You came here with something unique, special, something that is you, that is your part in uplifting the whole of humanity. You are here in this world at this time as a part of evolving humanity forward. What is yours to be? Get a hit, get a feeling tone, a sense, a knowing, a word, a picture, an image, a sound, a smell. And you can allow this wisdom, this supreme guidance to continue in your dream time. It only needs your yes. It only needs your please. It only needs your yes, please, and more, please. If you desire more of this intimate connection with pure source, simply give it a yes in your cells, in your nervous system. More guidance, more awareness, more connection. May it be revealed in my dream time. May it be revealed throughout my days. May synchro destinies, synchronicities, awarenesses come forward throughout each day through connections and resources and pictures and even billboards I see on the street. One last time, becoming open and available. What is God's greatest idea of itself as your very life? Again, fountaining up with gratitude. Feel so grateful. Feel so grateful for the beauty of this life. Feel so grateful for the specialness, the preciousness of life itself. And let us expand our hearts that we in this moment open wide, that we hold not only ourselves, not only the little kid version of us in our hearts and our loving, that we nurture and support all aspects of our being. But allow yourself to open now and embrace your family and your community, your city, state, country, the whole of humanity, Pachamama, Mother Earth. Let your heart get so wide open that it holds the whole of life with love and support and nurturance and all manner of goodness, that all may rise in freedom, in justice, in right action, in creativity, in the fullest possible expression of ourselves. And allowing that grace to ascend all around you, the grace of life itself, as we complete this practice for this day, allowing continued awarenesses, insights, and upliftments to continue throughout your days and throughout your nights. I simply allow it to be with great gratitude, saying, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. So we invite you to write down any notes, especially if you're watching us on the replay. Write down any notes, anything that came through as we continue to move forward into, understanding that there's no one way that these visions, or we catch these visions. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen in the shower. It can happen on the 405. It can happen anywhere. So this is us staying open and being open. We're almost at the end of the show. Oh my goodness.
Yes, we
This is good.
What are the takeaways?
What are you taking away from our show today?
So you know what popped up for me in like something for me to really allow into my life is the phrase, I am ready.
Ooh.
I am ready. So that's going to be my takeaway, is when I wonder about, different opportunities or things coming forward, to really anchor in my cells, especially with that astrology piece that I read at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like this
Powerful.
year is going to be fast on the move. Opportunities are coming. If you're ready, they're yours. If they're not, they'll leave. So my takeaway is I am ready. And I want to just reiterate, if we were going through this and we ask questions and you feel like you didn't get anything, probably on some level something is brewing. So the opportunity for you is to ask, especially it's great, like first thing before, when you're waking up and before you go to sleep, what is mine? Become open and
Yeah.
available. Start asking the questions. Ask for guidance, ask for clues, because you will get it. You'll start getting things. And as I mentioned earlier, I like to be respectful of what comes forward. I used to judge it and say, is that real? Is it not real? And now I just take notes of the things that came up for me. And so that would be my invitation to you, is maybe to go back over this and listen again. You can listen on either of our YouTube channels and listen again to the questions and just take a beat. Like, what is God's greatest idea of itself as my life? What do I already have in place that will support me in being everything I am God intended to be? If there's anything for me to release and let go of, what might that be? And what is God's greatest idea of itself as my life? So to continue, and let's see, I am so in awe of God's idea for my life. That's beautiful, Shiva. I have had so
Mhm.
many synchro destinies, to type them on my blessed laptop and see how God's plan is revealing and unfolding, working on divine order. Thank you for that. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm speaking to, is we want to build up the muscle that when something happens, it's easy to dismiss it, but to create like your miracle notebook or your
Yeah.
destiny or your synchronicities notebook. And the more we acknowledge it, the more you become aware of how often they're available. So if you feel like you didn't get anything, just even right now, you could say, I'm open, available to more guidance throughout this day and
Yeah.
night. And then
And that's
start noticing and respecting what comes forward.
And that's the part of what Michael writes in the book. In fact, Get the Life Visioning Process book is phenomenal. He talked about the surrendering to the vision, that we get out of the head of, oh my God, this is too big. How am I going to make this happen? It's not about that. It's about surrendering, being open and willing to allow this to move through you and to continue the vision. So that's my takeaway, is
Yes.
surrender to the vision, and really begin to tap into a place that this is too part of the process, is growing into the vision. Part of the thing that I believe, the first visioning, I wasn't ready for it, so I had to grow into it. I'm taking away that I'm growing into the vision. Hey, 20 years later, I'm growing into the vision I got 20 years ago. How amazing is that? Hello.
Yeah, keep tuning in. Fridays, the High Vibe Hour, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Pacific time. And we're going to keep approaching your divine purpose and passion from different angles. So we'll do visualization, we'll do visioning, we'll do a whole array of tools and practices so we
Yeah.
can really clarify and activate, who we came here to be.
And I'm putting up your handle on Instagram. You want to tell people where people can get in touch with you?
You can find me at Rev Julie Moret on Instagram. And if you want to put your email address in on my website at juliemoret.com, then I can let you know when I'm teaching again. I literally do about one email a year, so you won't be inundated with emails. But people always say to me, like, I wanted to know that you were speaking, or I wanted to know that you were teaching. So you can leave your email address there. But mostly Instagram at Rev Julie Moret.
And
How about
I'm
you?
I'm her Yang. I'm on Instagram, Rev Skip Jennings. I'm also got my website, where if you sign up for my newsletter, you get about 4 or 5 a month. So I'm the Yang to her Yin. Um,
They're
I
juicy.
do.
They've got
I
good
do.
content.
Good content, good content. And I keep saying this because 3 people signed up this week for the Bali tour. So we're going to Bali March 14th to the 27th. I am so excited about this tour right now. We have room for 4 more people, and 4 people come on, because once those 4 people, I believe that they're there. They're here, they're coming. Once that happens, it's completely sold out, and we're not taking any more than 20 people. This is powerful. I kept saying this, it was going to come really quickly. Do you know we're less than 3 months away? We're like 70 something days from Bali. I'm like, it's
That is so
happening.
awesome.
So
Oh, I forgot to
awesome.
say, my book is
Yeah,
on sale. So it's a 50% off. I've never done that before. You can get it on Amazon. What's Your What? How to Ignite Your Unique Brand. And it's got a lot of tools and practices on how to clarify and activate your purpose. So if you've been on the fence, or if you have somebody you want to get it for, it's half off.
get it. Get it. It's so good. It's so good. So good. All right. So next week, oh my goodness, we'll be here next week again.
Yes,
So
we
I'm
will.
very, very excited, y'all. So, hey, remember, transformation is a choice you chose today. You showed up. Peace and richest blessings, everyone. Till next week. We love you.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.